North Korea starts to dismantle missile testing site. Maybe the North Koreans will keep their end of the deal after all. 38 North reports North Korea has begun dismantling key facilities of the Sohae satellite launching station. According to satellite images of the launching site, the rail-mounted processing building, where different launch vehicles were formerly prepared, was partially dismantled and now has been completely removed. Satellite images taken from July 20th to July 22nd show the dismantling of the nuclear site. The nearby rocket engine test stand, where there were liquid fuel engines for the ballistic missiles and launch vehicles, have also been removed. However, in the images taken, the new fuel and oxidizer bunkers, the main processing building, and gantry tower seem to be left untouched. CNN reports Trump commented on North Korea's dismantling of key facilities of the satellite launch station and said, "We appreciate that." More stories about the Hermit Kingdom. North Korean defector's stomach full of nasty parasites. The contents of a recent North Korean defector's stomach paint a hopeless picture of what life is really like inside the Hermit Kingdom. The North Korean border guard was shot several times while fleeing across the demilitarized zone to South Korea last week. Medical staff treating the defector say they found numerous parasites inside his body. Several of these were removed from his digestive tract, including one 27-centimeter-long roundworm. They were likely caused by farming practices in the north where human excrement is used for fertilizer due to a lack of chemical fertilizer. Known as night soil, this practice is notorious for spreading parasites and disease. And that god-awful practice was championed by this guy. And he's full of it. Very full. Kim's nuclear test site in the mountains is no more. Reports from two groups of Chinese geologists have found that North Korea's main nuclear testing site has collapsed, which could be the real reason Pyongyang is suspending its missile tests. North Korea's last 6 nuclear tests were all carried out at the Ponggyeori testing facility under Mount Mantap. During the latest test in September 2017, a bomb believed to have an explosive yield of 100 kilotons set off a powerful explosion. It caused an initial 6.3 magnitude tremor and triggered several more earthquakes in the weeks that followed. Geologists from the University of Science and Technology of China analyzed the region's seismic data and found that the blast vaporized surrounding rock, creating a 200-meter hole as the area collapsed in on itself. A large section of the mountain ridge near the peak is also believed to have broken off as a result of shockwaves. Researchers from the Jilin Earthquake Agency reported similar findings and added that the collapse created a chimney which could leak radioactive fallout into the air. Both studies concluded the testing site to be unstable and unusable. The area is located close to the Chinese border, but while authorities say no increase in radioactivity levels have been detected, they will continue monitoring the surrounding region. North Korea blew up one of its own cities by accident. North Korea fabulously blew up one of its own urban cities accidentally during a ballistic missile test last year. Last April, when Kim Jong-fatty shot off a Hwasong-12 intermediate-range ballistic missile, it sadly couldn't even deliver a short range. Instead, it crashed in the city of Tokchon, located about 2 hours from Pyongyang. The missile was launched from the Pukchang airfield, but things went haywire as it flew 24 miles to the northeast, blowing up industrial or agricultural facilities in Tokchon. In the meantime, while North Korea is busy annihilating itself, what's Orangina doing? Bragging about the size of his bigly button. Wonderful.
Sleepy general deemed unworthy of life in North Korean workers' paradise. Defending North Korea from real and imaginary enemies is tiring. Defense Minister Hyung Chol was reportedly a bit sleepy one day, so Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un put him to sleep permanently. North Korea's now ex-defense minister was reportedly purged and executed in late April. And of course, this being North Korea, a simple firing squad just wouldn't cut it. Hyung Chol was allegedly fired in an open-to-the-public event by an anti-aircraft gun that shot him to pieces from a distance of about 100 feet. Rumors claim the former defense minister had complained about Kim's rule and/or disobeyed some order from the pudgy-faced dictator. But more than one report indicates the real crime the 66-year-old general was guilty of was falling asleep during one of Kim's marathon speeches, which is, of course, punishable by death. How disrespectful. Guards! Hyun becomes the latest of around 70 high-ranking officials reportedly put to sleep by little Kim, with other victims including his aunt, the actual sister of his daddy Kim Jong-il, who was allegedly poisoned for complaining about the execution of her husband, Jang Song-taek, the former #2 leader of North Korea. Jang was, in a disappointingly uncreative manner, unfit for the democratic, happy, free workers' people's awesome Republic of North Korea, simply shot by a firing squad. What was she complaining about? Some people have no sense of gratitude.
Phew, that was a close one. Safety concerns have been raised over North Korea's aggressive missile testing program after the most recent launch came dangerously close to a passenger plane. On July 28th, an Air France flight to Paris took off from Tokyo, carrying more than 300 passengers. 45 minutes later, North Korea test-launched an intercontinental ballistic missile from Chagang province. The missile climbed more than 2,000 miles before returning back to Earth. It landed in the Sea of Japan just 5 to 10 minutes after the Air France flight passed through the same area. In response to the incident, Air France put out a statement claiming North Korean test zones don't interfere with their flight paths, adding that they analyze potentially dangerous flyover zones. But experts say global aviation systems may not be able to even detect a missile in a plane's flight path, let alone warn airlines about it. Adjusting commercial flight paths may be one way of addressing the North Korean safety risk, but it will be both expensive and difficult.